For 6 years. I ain't got to talk about it no more. But you see this here? This is genuine brisket. You don't need no teeth. Just tenderism. What I'm talking about, destination one in the nation. I got a pack. I make it to the Gene Chandler. But anyhow, right here at destination, come get it. Look at that. Look at that. And watch this.
Egregious.
Even the vibrance with the color there. And the flavor is insane. It's like destination. One in the nation. Come get.
So the white guy from Destination Smokehouse has now trademarked the word tenderism, ensuring by doing this that Unc can go out on his own and use that word, you know, when he does his briskets and stuff. So Unc can't go on his own and say, this is tenderism, because this guy has trademarked it. Yeah, pretty smart on his part, but I think it's going to backfire on him because no one wants to see him on camera.
No, that's not smart on his part. That's straight up grimy. It's shady, very, very janky. Tendernism wasn't even his name. Mr. Tendernism is Mr. Walt Johnson, not this other guy. So no, that's not smart. That's thievery, no integrity. And I really want to know, where is Mr. Tendernism right now? Where is his family? If you're related to Mr. Walt Johnson, I need you to hit me up, because now we're hearing from all these other people at the restaurant, but we haven't heard from Unc. And the one time we did hear from him, the owner and security and other employees were all breathing down his neck. So where is his family? That's who I want to hear from. If you're the family or you know the family, hit me up.
So we'll stop here. So it's the tenderism situation. All right. I've seen this guy for a while back. Shout out to my guy, Les Barbecue. All right. Not a sponsor, but I rock with Les BBS, or what is it? Texas in every way. All right. He be smoking the oxtails and all that. He owned his own joint, but this guy here was doing the sort of same stuff. And I've seen him a few times in my algorithm, and he be, you know, with the oxtails and all that. And the white guy owns it. So he was the face of it. And now they said the white dude done put him on a plane and sent him home. And now it's all white folks. Now he got all his buddies. Look, now it's all the white folks at the table. They stole his recipe. We've been talking about this all night.
What did Leon King just say? Culture is not power. Unc, that black man there, he brought 100% of the culture to this place. He was the culture. They weren't coming there to see that pasty owner. They was coming there to see that flavorful, energetic, charismatic old black man. No other reasons. The one dude, something Lee, the dude that do the food reviews, he went there to see the brother. I'm calling him Mr. Tendernism. They went to go see Mr. Tendernism, and he's gonna give him $4,000, and they would not let the brother Lee go even make contact with him. This is sick, but again,
handlers. We talked about this with the Mexican roofers and stuff. Soon as you go and try to talk to them, white man gonna come around the corner and say, how can I help you?
And we got to do better, man. Hopefully this, I can only say hope. Hopefully this plays out for this brother in his favor. I see the chat saying some folks reaching out to him, trying to get some trademark, something. It's a case to win. Shout out to social media. Everything is documented. That's the beautiful part of this. If things do go through some kind of litigation, social media got it in 4K. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, it don't matter. Like, if you got paperwork and stuff, it don't matter, man. And most likely that white man got all his ducks in a row, got paperwork filled out. I don't know. What you got, Leon? I think it's over.
We'll get Ebony in first, then we get you, Leon. What you got, Ebony?
Okay, well, this just goes to show you guys that we are always the secret sauce, okay? Like with whatever. First of all, this man is Armenian, and with all due respect, nobody's checking for Armenian food, okay? You had the money. I believe, I know that barbecue and stuff came from the South. And a lot of people from the South, might or moved over to California and LA and stuff. There's a lot of great barbecue spots in LA. So, and it all came from the South. But with all that being said, Armenian, this Armenian man had a lot of money to back up a business and stuff. But the secret sauce was that guy. He was the one who brought the business in. He was the one back there making the food and preparing everything and making the sauce. He was the business. And where this guy messed up is thinking, just trying to not give him his props for it. This has happened time after time after time with us. We're always the ones inventing and making things pop off and stuff. And then we get undermined for certain things when all he had to do was pay that man, because if it wasn't for him behind that pit and promoting the way that he was, then he wouldn't even have the business that he has. So when you don't pay people right and you do this grimy stuff, it's always going to bite you in the ass in the end, because now look, nobody's coming to that business. Nobody's checking for him because we see how grimy he is. So yeah, he blew it for himself. Pay that man what he's owed, because he is the face of your company, and give him like a part ownership or something, because without him, you don't have a business.
Yes, and look, he even got the brother standing back there, you know, with that. What is he supposed to be, like a 5%er or God body or something? So, and this white dude, now this dude back here acting like he, you know, part of like, I don't know, some type of secret society. This is wicked.
He is standing there back there giving hand gestures. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. He just real out of place standing back there. Why don't you help your brother? This has enough visibility and it's got enough, you know, limelight that some attorney is going to reach out to him, you know, offering that, some pro bono. I truly think it's going to happen. However, even if that's best case scenario, right? But Unc still lose if he was in position, had the knowledge and know-how to do all this right and cover his own butt throughout this process of fame and what should have been fortune. That was best case scenario. But now he is in position where he got to hope folks come to his aid, but anybody come to his aid still looking to extract. Just is what it is.
Yeah, and I think too with Unc, you know, it looks like he's a little older in age and everything, so he may not be aware of everything, but it just goes to show like our nature. We're just good-hearted people. Like we want people to do good, and so we, you know, like with whatever job we have, we want to help people out. We want to share our knowledge, you know, put people up on the things that we know, share the recipes and share how to do things. But at the same time, you need to be compensated for that too. But that's just the good nature that we have. We're always inviting people in and always trying to do the right things. You know, even though we may not be up on the business side of things. So I think that's where things differ, but it just goes to show the good nature that we always bring into you know, the jobs and the stuff that we do, just as being Black people as a whole.
I want to hear from. If you're the family or you know the family, hit me up.
He has been forcing himself on camera. He is doing everything that he can to put himself into our faces and keep giving Unc less and less screen time, because he saw like, hey, this is pretty cool. Everyone loves him, but it's my business and I want to be the face of it. I want everyone to love me the same and find me as interesting, as fun, as enjoyable to watch as they do Unc, because it's my business. But you're not. I'm sorry, you are not. You should have just played your part, sat back, let Unc shine, and take this thing to the moon. No one's going to do that with you. Jordan's not coming there to throw glasses with you like he did with Unc. Celebrities that were there to hang out, have a good time, they're not going to do that with you. And you are going to cost yourself your business because you got jealous of an old man who made you famous. You know, Unc he's a very old man, you know, and he probably doesn't have all that many good years left. Why couldn't you just have sat back and let this man live out the rest of his life in this newfound joy that he's got with this tenderism and making these cool, fun videos? Why you couldn't do that? And then when he passes one day, which, you know, that's sadly what happens when we get very old, then you could maybe, hey, we all miss him, and I'm going to be here to try to fill his shoes. I know I can't, but I'm going to try. That's what you should have done. That's how you should have handled this. And it would have gotten you a lot more respect and a lot more love. You should have done a mural to him, built a little statue. You would have just kept rising. But nah, you showed your colors, my guy. You showed that you were jealous and that you were a hater. Straight up hater.
And you know what? That's all he really had to do. Keith Lee coming there didn't expose them. What exposed his restaurant was their reaction to Keith Lee only trying to show love to Unc. They couldn't stand the idea of Keith Lee giving that tip to Mr. Tendernism. They all got upset over it, the owner and the other employees. It's like they backed Mr. Tendernism into a corner. He got caught in the middle of all this mess. And you can tell he wanted to make things right with Keith Lee personally, because Keith Lee didn't do anything to him. It was the owner of the restaurant and the rest of the staff that had a problem. They're the ones that blocked Keith Lee's access to him. That's what happened. So he wanted to let Keith Lee know that he didn't have a problem with them, but at the same time, he was trying to stay loyal to the owner and his co-workers, who obviously had a problem and even voiced it.
How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
I want to give this to Walter.
He's not the owner.
He said his name to ask me a couple of questions.
to ask him a couple of questions. I meant to say that's how he presented it. He didn't say, "Hey, I want to give y'all this, and in the meantime, can I talk to Walter and Nick or whatever?" He literally asked for him only and said he want to give him that amount of money.
Even right now, though, what's your bill or someone that's visible, Walter French, anybody else, it would have felt like it was coming from a place that we would have accepted, but.
Tenderism, I just want to give you this. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. He doesn't need money, okay? He's well suited. He has a salary. He doesn't need your money, okay? He's perfect right here. Leave him alone.
Tenderism, you want the $5,000?
No, he doesn't need $5,000. Okay, he's perfect. You are programmed to do what?
Tenderism.
Exactly. Okay, he doesn't need your money, okay?
But you're using him though.
I'm not using him. He loves it here. Don't you love it here?
That white man trademarking tendernism, he's going to hell. And in a handbasket too. The reason I say that, he has ensured that Unc cannot separate himself from the business and move on, meaning he cannot utilize the word tenderism. So he cannot go around and even profit off of what he made popular.
Yeah. So, you know, he got beat to the punch. That's just good old white man. We've been talking about it all night. And I think Keith Lee went there to blow the whistle. Keith Lee ain't just stumble in there and, oh, I'm going to give him $5,000. He already had some of this information. He like, I'm about to go down here and see what's going on. All right. And that's what he was up to, as he should have been. But yeah, that's what it was.
That now we got pure exploitation, wicked motive. The owner, the white dude sitting there saying Keith Lee was wrong for trying to come and see Tendernism, who the owner said was the owner. Now the owner saying Tendernism is the owner in the video. He said, why in the world would Keith Lee want to bring the owner $5,000, pay it to his staff? It just so happens that OG Tendernism is the damn staff. He ain't the owner. He is a staff like everybody else. It would have been a tip to the staff.
Yeah, man, this is so crazy, you guys. Because like with the whole thing, here's the thing. The reason why was it Keith Lee even knows about him is because he's a food critic and he's been watching the videos and he's been kind of putting the whole restaurant and stuff out there. That's why he came, and Keith Lee saw the finesse game. He knew that that guy had trademarked everything, and he knew that he wasn't really paying him what he was owed, and that's why he wanted to try to, throw him a couple dollars, because he knew the finesse. He already knew what it was. And so for that owner to stop all that, he should have been praising him, and he should, and you know what? He should have followed up with maybe giving him a little stake in the company, or changing his position, or making him something bigger than just being, behind the camera and stuff, because he was the face of that business and everything. So Keith Lee, he noticed it, and he was trying to do the right thing because he knew he was getting finessed, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, he was trying to give him his freedom papers. So this been going on. They've been trying to keep us on the plantation, and then they say, "Hey, there's jobs up north," and they say, "Hey, who told y'all about that?" You see what I'm saying? So they always want to keep this information. Yeah, stay away from him, Keith Lee, before you get in his ear and start telling him stuff.
This is another reason why employers are very hesitant on paying their good employees too much. That owner knew. He said, Mr. Tender, he said, you don't need much to make these tender meats you make. He said, $4,000-$5,000 will give you enough wind in your sails. You can get you a little food truck or cart, and you'll put my whole restaurant out of business with a little $1,000 cart and a grill. And we know that to be true. So he said, nah, we can't have you get no leg up. Nah, no $4,000 for you. That's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. Ain't no way in heck too many people standing around watching this big old white man stop this man from getting $5,000. You are insane, man.
So what you got, Brother Leon? I know you've been trying to get in.
Okay. Keith Lee wanted to give Unc $4,000 and $1,000 for the food for the guests that were there and were gonna be coming in. Unc is back at the restaurant right now. They brought him back yet today or yesterday. A black attorney applied for the trademark before the owner. And he's trying to give the trademark to Unc. He's trying to get in touch with Unc to give him the trademark. So, like I said, Unc is back at the restaurant. I want to elaborate on what Ebony said. as far as barbecue. Actually, barbecue, as we know it, was invented by the Mexicans, by the Mayans and all. And it was, brought up south through Texas and in North Carolina and eastern North Carolina. We got a thing called whole hog barbecue. And, which is, we think that it's something unique to our culture in this area. And where others may just have like shoulders, or in Texas, they use beef and all. We use just whole hog barbecue.
Right quick,
Everything
Leon King. Right
from
quick.
the
Hey,
pig.
right quick, brother. I'm gonna let you go. AI says barbecue origin traces back to the Caribbean indigenous Taino people who use wooden frames called barbecue to slow cook meat over fire. So it says it was the Caribbeans, not the Mexicans or Mayans.
Yes, I agree with you. I said barbecue as we know it. So,
okay. Well, Leon, where in Mexico can we go and get the kind of barbecue that we get from the South?
No, it evolved. It evolved.
Okay. So the we're talking about American barbecue. American barbecue is a Southern staple, and right? Or can we all agree on that? I mean, the cooking technique, it probably even went back to Africa if we're talking technicalities, but American barbecue as we know it, you can't go anywhere in the world and get the barbecue that you can get in this country.
Agreed.
Oh, okay.
Agreed. I said I wanted to elaborate, not dispel your argument, but elaborate. And I just wanted to bring up some clarity concerning, unks. And I agree with all those on the panel that are talking about, culture and techniques. Just like what is that? A couple of liquors, what is it? Jim Beam or Jack Daniels, one of them, which I don't drink anymore, not since a teenager because it put me on my ass. And, I don't drink stuff that put me on my ass anymore. So, so what I'm saying is that I agree with the panel. But as far as, just like Ebony Dean said, we invented algebra. Mathematics comes from the dark-skinned man, So, when the Europeans were living in caves, we were inventing mathematics and science and all kinds of things because man is born inherently intelligent and all. It's only through our degradation that we allow ourselves to become animals and all. So the thing is that, I'm in full agreement with those who understand that the black man was over in the United States as we know it in North America long before Columbus, long before slavery. They try to say that, blacks have been over, slaves, Africans have been over here since the 1600s. No, we were here when they got here. Simply because we knew how to build boats because of Noah, and so, it's just like Samson. People they cannot get away from the fact that Samson had locks. He had 7 of them. So they shy away from that and everything, but they put in a movie just this past December called David, making him looking high, with they've always done this, as far as with the biblical, except Samson, Now, Samson, they always put him as a dark-skinned man because they couldn't get away from the locks. But, you know, the Israelites have, you know, and I'm not talking about Hebrew Israel, all of this. I'm just talking about his history. And the reason why the Israelites could blend in, Moses could blend in with the Egyptians was because of his dark skin and all. But they knew who, you know, I mean, it's just like, you know, people say, well, what is it? The French and the English, well, they're white people. No, they consider themselves to be French and English and all, and Italians and, you know, Spanish and Portuguese and Dutch and Norwegians, you know, so they don't consider themselves to be white. We over here coined that term. It's just like in South Africa, they learned apartheid through the United States' segregation. So, you know, it's like this. I don't disagree with what I'm saying is this. We know that the black man has always been athletically stronger than the Caucasian man because of our ancestors grew up. But I'm saying that, you know, in addition to the physical, let us strengthen our minds.
Okay. You cooking, Leon. Yeah, what you got at me?
Yeah.
We're gonna get his brother Stephen in. What you
Can I
got?
say one more thing?
You done said about 18 things.
Now,
Go ahead.
we know that the Constitution was not written for us, but it's ours now. Learn the laws of the United States because this is a nation of laws. Only through the law can we get the power that we need so we can get reparations. Look, the Constitution says that we deserve a check, but the largest caucus in in Congress is the Black Caucus, and we have elected these people in office, and they have not done what we have told them to do. So we need to get a new caucus in there of people who are going to do what we tell them to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you were saying, Leon, for sure. I think in cases like with Unc and stuff like that, sometimes people just need the opportunity to showcase what they know and showcase how talented they are and stuff. And for cases like with Unc, you know, we talk about reparations. We talk about giving us an opportunity in order to you know, to get an education or to start a business or to do something that could be great. And if we're given the opportunity, we see how creative we are. We see how much we contribute to this country as a whole. Just think about all the things that we can do if we were just given the opportunity. And even going back to the pilot situation, you know how many Black pilots could possibly be in our, you know, within our lineage or whatever, if just given the opportunity. Doctors, lawyers, all sorts of different professions, if we were just given the opportunity. That's why reparations is so important. And everyone wants to talk about how people will trick it off. No, we'll actually do the right things with the money and actually showcase how talented we are, how smart we are, how innovative we are, because we've been showing this country for hundreds and hundreds of years. So that's what that would be for.
This situation, I just looked at this situation from the whole, just from what I watched from you guys. We have an older Black man who's got experience and skills and a little bit of razzmatazz that only us Black folk have. Working for somebody, I think somebody said that he's Armenian or whatever. My questions would be for anybody who works in that shop. Like, one, how long has that the owner actually been in this country? Was he born here and he's just Armenian lineage, or did he just come over here in the last 5 years or something. I don't know. But I wonder if he had that ancestral ego that, yeah, I'm going to take from somebody who's of a different racial group, colonize it, call him my own, and I'm going to shove him in a corner somewhere, and I'm going to pretend like it's mine, like that colonel with that southern chicken. Okay, we all know what happened there, right? So it's not a new play; it's the same play. They've been doing it for centuries. But I do wonder if people would even have the thought of getting together and either him joining another place, or like I think Mr. Gavin, it might have been you, get him a food truck and be co-owners or what, and see how much further he can get, since he's already nationally known now. And it's so easy now with the internet that so many people can contribute like $1, you know, and then 6 months from now, he could have his own business, and let's roll with that, right? So that's enough of my seriousness. I can't believe that I was up here, or Leon was up here so long and didn't say anything biblical that I disagreed with totally. It's absolutely unfathomable.
So he's been doing this since 2016.
Okay.
The owner, he first started a coffee shop in Hemet, California in 2016.
Okay.
2019, he took over, expanded the menu, and early 2020, Mr. Tendernism, Walt joined introducing barbecue. So Nick wasn't even selling barbecue via Google AI until Mr. Tendernism came into the show.
Bang.
Wicked work.